Today's sponsor is Audible.com, who has more than 180,000 audiobooks and spoken word audio products. Get a free audiobook of your choice at www.audibletrial.com/shark. Welcome to the Movies, Films, and Flicks podcast. I'm your host, John Loswith. Joining me, as always, are my co-hosts, Mark Hopmeyer.
I met Dolph Lundgren in Austin, Texas.
Did you?
Whoa. Hold on now. Like, if I was there, I would imagine that I drank too much and had double vision with you two giant Swedes walking around next to each other.
Yeah, it didn't really happen like that.
No?
So I was working the Comic-Con out there, Austin Comic-Con. Actually stopped by Fantastic Fest. Our buddy Dave was working there. So I'm in the airport about to fly home from the show. And I walked by Dolph, and I'm on the phone with my wife. And I wasn't going to stop, right? And I was like, Megan, I just saw Dolph. And she's like, stop. And I'm like, I'm not going to stop because, you know me, guys. Like, John, you worked with me on Comic-Cons. I never talked to the celebrities. I didn't care about it. I've worked on a bunch of movies, never cared, never got nervous, never bothered me. But I see Dolph, and I'm like, Dolph Lundgren. And she's like, Mark, do it. And she's like, call me back. And she hangs up. And I'm like, crap. So I circle around him a little bit. It was not pretty. He probably saw me in his wide Swedish peripheral vision. Mm-hmm. So I walk up to him, and as he's spilling his coffee, right? So I'm like, oh, crap. And so I came up. He's like, yeah, you know, like, nice to meet you. He's like, yeah, just no pictures today. I'm like, that's fine. And I think he was expecting me to, like, pull some Rocky things out. But I was like, yeah, you know, I love Command Performance. I was like, also, I think the new Universal Soldiers, you know, Regeneration and Day of Reckoning. I love those movies. And he turns around, looks at me, and goes, what's your name? I'm like, yeah, Mark. And he goes, nice to meet you, Mark. Like that, he was like impressed that I brought up those movies. He's like, yeah, what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I work the Comic-Con. And I should have pitched, like, you know, I want to do a movie with him called 34 Again, where I play him and he plays me. Or I should have pitched that, or I should have done, I have an idea where you can build a Q&A with Dolph Lundgren, or like a meet and greet where you can build IKEA with him, but I didn't do that. So He's like, yeah, what are you doing here? I'm like, yeah, I work the Comic-Con. And then he did Fantastic Fest. He's like, yeah, where do you live? I'm like, Atlanta. He's like, what do you do? I was like, yeah, I work in the film industry. And he was flying back. And then, you know, he had to go catch his plane. But it was a nice little conversation. And, like, I think he thought I was like some weirdo. But once I brought up his incredibly obscure movies, he was like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
But I was I was a blubbering mess.
I threaten, like, every 6 months, like, I just shoot out book ideas, but neither of us have time for that. Or like I know I don't. I'm sure you don't. But one day we will have so much content that we can rewrite it into, like, a cool bathroom reader or academic essays, and you will be the champion of Ernest and Trantor.
Yep.
Like, Trantor, the misunderstood adversary of Vern's champion.
Oh, he's not misunderstood. He's pure evil.
Well, I don't know, but you could expand that universe of knowledge, right? Like, you could like get all the meta knowledge out of it, and then, like, you're also the champion of, we'll call it the Neo Dolph filmography. That's the name. It's simple, isn't it? Like, the Vern one is complicated, Vern Trantor and everything, but no, the Neo, the Neo Dolph filmography.
That's right. And, like, people are like, yeah, Hidden Assassin. They're like, what? You know?
The next time he meets you, Mark, it might be in a few years, but the next time he meets you, he'll be holding a copy of the book asking for your signature.
Oh,
we're going to be filming 35 again.
And you're going to say, sorry, Dolph, no photos today.
Hey, but will you star in 35 with me again? 35 again?
I will. And Zac Efron can be a dump that one of you took.
Can I just say that your celebrity encounter...
It's about the right size of it.
Can I just say your celebrity encounter went a lot smoother than my last celebrity encounter?
Oh, no.
Did I ever tell you guys about meeting Patton Oswalt?
I
think it was last year when we all flew out to Podfest in L.A., right? I think it was Patton was doing one of the podcasts that night. And I think it all took place in, like, this fancy hotel in Beverly Hills or whatever. and like I stepped outside for like a moment, and then when I came back into the lobby, I see Patton, like he's just sitting there on like one of those like those couches they have in the lobby. He's just sitting there by himself, reading a Kindle. Like I'm like, oh shit, that's Patton Oswalt. But he also looked kind of tired. I'm just like, man, should I? I don't know. Like he looks kind of tired. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna go up and do like a really quick hello and just leave him the hell alone. I'm just like, so I did. I walked up to him. I was like, hey Patton, huge fan. Just you know, I'm watching your podcast tonight. So it was like, oh yeah, thanks. And then I went in for like a handshake, but then like right as I was kind of like mid handshake, like he threw out like a fist bump. I'm like, oh shit. So I just like adjusted like really quick to like the fist bump and just gave him like a fist bump. I'm just like, ugh. I mean, I don't think I messed up too badly, but it just felt like awkward. I'm like, oh shit.
At least he didn't like maybe he made the adjustment to a handshake. And then you just stub one of his fingers because you clenched your fist.
What if Patton Oswalt felt awkward and he was like, "Oh my god, I totally embarrassed myself in front of that shark dropper guy."
Yeah, he totally knew who I was. But yeah, I just felt like, oh shit. I mean,
for real, though.
It didn't hurt my feelings. I'm just like, should I just have gone with like the fist bump in the first place? I'm just like, I'm just kind of paranoid about it. I'm just like, oh damn, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, anytime I go to the gym, I'm there for like 90 minutes, and there's like 5 handshakes and 5 fist bumps and like 2 near misses.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, honestly, like I
if
think,
you go to the gym and you like say hi to a bunch of people, that's going to happen a lot.
well, I think I was just confused because like I think earlier in that weekend I met Mark Maron in the same hotel lobby, and he threw out a handshake like right away. So I guess I was just kind of still in that handshake mode. I'm like, oh. Well, I guess I'll just shake his hand, but no, I guess Patton Oswalt prefers a fist bump. You know?
I don't know. I mean, I guess like Patton Oswalt wouldn't have struck me as the fist bump guy.
You know, there are germaphobes too. Like,
yeah.
Just
yeah.
You know, like we know Lazarus sneezes a lot.
Yeah, I do.
So.
What Oswalt didn't know is that he sneezes on his knuckles.
Yeah. That's right. Like, I've been so nervous. Like, guys, I've like. You know, I don't know. I've worked first team and like just never been nervous. But talking to him, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. I think he just like wanted to like hug me for a second, be like, calm down, tall guy.
Yeah. John Levigood, what was your last celebrity encounter?
Boy, you know, since I was working those cons, I don't even know if I've had one. Oh, you know what? I saw. It's not a very big one. Is his name Peter Mayhew?
Yeah,
the guy who played Chewbacca. So I saw him and his like convention handlers at the airport in the last year. And but I mean, for me, it was just like, oh, hey, Peter, yeah, know you from whatever. And no, this handler's just giving me a nod. Oh, yeah, hi, John. And yeah, this is just very casual walk by. I wasn't trying to shake his hand or anything. He wasn't trying to shake my hand. It was just a casual passing hello, getting on and off of a plane, because I was getting off the plane and they were bored, I guess, that plane.
You know, when you get off a plane, you just want to get the hell out of there too. So it's like, I very rarely
but I saw them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it was fast. You know, like
it was definitely in passing. Like, I could have looped around, but it would have been really awkward if I looped around and he had like already kind of checked out.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if he recognized me.
Thing is, Levigood, I feel like when you loop around, it's not very subtle.
Yeah.
Like, it would be totally obvious. Like, oh, this guy's like circling back.
Well, you say that, man, but he's bigger than me. Well, not heavier, but he's a lot taller than me.
Wait, what does that mean? If you circled around, that wouldn't be obvious. What are you getting at?
Right, if I circled around, it wouldn't be obvious to him.
He knows everything. He's Chewbacca.
Yeah. All right. I think it's that time of the podcast where we kind of get confused in a good way. It's time to answer some listener questions. Let me go. I think you have questions for us this week.
Yes, sir. First question is very appropriate since about 10 episodes back when we did episode 68 for Ghostbusters. So it sounds like someone is advocating for ghost rights. Kat from St. Augustine, Florida asks, busting ghosts totally seems like some form of unlawful spiritual imprisonment. Is there due process for the undead?
I mean, R.I.P.D.
Oh yeah.
So there's R.I.P.D., but that's like established, right? Like everyone well, not everyone, but like the law keepers know that the ghosts know that they're not supposed to be on our plane of existence. But in Ghostbusters, like, it's not like there's a treaty. There's not a Men in Black treaty here.
But apparently, a lot of those ghosts were kind of being funkier because of Zool. So they were like acting out. I mean, it was also new to everybody. So, I mean, I don't think there was one at first. And you never really hear about that later.
Confused.
Not that
confused.
Some of those ghosts, though, are pretty jerky. Like, you know, that lady in the library, Slimer, he's causing a lot of property damage. If you're a human,
Hold on now. That lady in the library, that's my defense of the ghosts, because she was just reading, right? And when the Ghostbusters came up in the stacks in the hallways of the library in 1984, and they were like calling to her, trying to signal her, and what'd she do? She went shh, and then what'd they do? And she went back to reading, and then what'd they do? They said 1, 2, 3, and then they yelled, "Get her!" They're in a library. You don't talk loud in a library. She was abiding by library rules. They violated library rules, right? So she was acting in defense of the library.
Hold up. You hold up me. She had overdue books.
She was reading it in the library.
No, but she had others out, and she had been loitering.
That might be true, but she might not have known that in the spirit world. But I'll give
they
you
know
that.
They know.
She knew. But I'm just saying, like, they don't always know. There was the cab driver in Ghostbusters 2. He might not have known that he shouldn't have been there. Like, but a lot of them, I agree. A lot of them are like spiritual jerks who have the upper hand, and they need to be put in their place.
I feel like they all get put in together, don't they?
They get put into that containment unit, yeah. Like, they get put into the common holding cell, and they hope that they don't sneak near Bubba.
Yeah, or Slimer. I mean, you can tell it's gone from the 80s to 2016. I don't think that ever came up. It's an interesting question. Like, I mean, no. There was no due process for the undead. None.
Again, I do maintain, though, that let's just say that library ghost had overdue books.
Yeah.
Now, the Ghostbusters did not address that, nor did they know that. They persecuted her just for being a ghost.
No, they knew it. They knew it.
They didn't know that. That was okay. That was not conveyed in the script lines.
Well, they were told when they were walking up there by the person working there.
If that was in the script, it was a bracketed comment.
You need to watch it again. You missed it.
That Ray looked accusingly in brackets because he knew of her overdue books.
That's right. And then if ghosts exist, then every movie featuring ghosts is real. So the Frighteners, he had buddies that were ghosts.
Right.
So, I mean, that happened after Ghostbusters. So maybe, like, that's like the evolving of it. They just kind of deal with them. And if you're a jerk, then you get busted.
Ghostbusters kind of, it's like the Roe v. Wade or the Dred Scott. It's like, this is one of those formative discrimination, like, cases set by Ghostbusters. Lazavath, you're being very quiet. I'm guessing that you're jotting down notes of legislation right now about ghosts.
Looking up previous cases, trying to find precedent of any kind.
He's looking up real previous cases.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah, it's definitely something interesting to think about, because, you know, obviously the movies don't really delve into the issue of ghost rights and whatnot. I would imagine it's kind of like the Wild West out there in the spirit world, so to speak. You know, you just kind of anything goes, only the fit survive. But in this case, what makes one ghost fitter than another? So that's kind of weird.
If that's true, then the weaker ghosts might be scared of this, like, powerocracy in the spirit world, and they are trying to claim, like, asylum. They're trying to pull in Elian Gonzalez. They're trying to get asylum in America,
Yeah.
right, to protect themselves from the meaner ghosts.
Would the Ghostbusters bust Casper?
Well, they tried. You remember?
No, you know what? When they see, I'll bet that when Peter Venkman sees Casper like kind of getting along really well with Christina Ricci, Peter Venkman would get jealous and like claim that he was attacking her, and then he'd bust Casper, put him in the containment unit so that he could then hit on Christina Ricci.
But she was
with,
like 13 in that movie.
Cards. Dude, Peter Venkman knows no limits. He was
That's
like hitting on
gross.
18
You just turned him into a sexual offender.
Well, in my head, I'm thinking of Christina Ricci now.
But guys, do you guys remember Dan Aykroyd actually made a cameo in Casper as a Ghostbuster? He had on the
what?
Yeah,
what?
it was like a quick.
I didn't
it was
even
like
see
a
the
quick.
movie, actually. So.
It was a quick throwaway cameo gag. Like it was like a montage of people trying to rid the house of ghosts. Like in one shot, you see Dan Aykroyd running out of the house. He was in the Ghostbusters outfit. He had on a mustache, so it wasn't. He didn't look totally like like Stance, but yeah, he runs out of the house and he tells the parents, yeah, who you gonna call? Somebody else.
Oh wow!
Dude,
Yeah.
So he tried. He tried.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, allegedly.
No way. You actually made me want to watch that movie just for that scene.
Well, I mean,
I remember I had the toys from Pizza Hut.
I would just YouTube that scene if it's just that scene you're interested in.
Well, no, just to watch that scene, because like I had a lifetime, no joke, because she's like within 6 months of my age. I had a lifetime crush on Christina Ricci among 89 other actresses, probably, right? But like I would not bring myself to watch Casper because I can just watch any of her other movies again. But now that you told me that Bill Murray connection, like there can't be a Bill Murray movie that I haven't seen.
Dan Aykroyd.
It's Dan Aykroyd, not Bill Murray. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Peter Venkman.
No, it was Ray Stantz, or allegedly. They don't ever mention him by name.
Still, either way, I'm still interested to see it. We did a podcast on Ghostbusters, so now I feel like I have to do due diligence and go back and watch this.
I think it should be said that one little throwaway cameo was the only thing I remember from Casper. So
then that's all I'll watch.
Yeah.
Eric Idle's in it too.
Was he?
Yeah, and Faye Dunaway.
Wasn't
Wait, do you remember this, or are you looking this up?
Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
Devin
Pullman.
Sawa.
But you're looking this up.
No, I'm not.
You are pulling too much knowledge. Do you really remember all this?
Yeah.
You're like a savant. You are Rain Manning that.
He's looking it up.
Hands up. Hands up.
Devin Sawa.
Hands up.
Definitely Bill Pullman.
Yeah.
But before Independence Day.
I tell you, I can't remember what I ate yesterday, but I can remember what movie my mom watched in like '97 today, 15 years ago.
What movie?
I can tell you too. My mom was watching The Birdcage over and over again.
Is that the final answer? The Birdcage.
Yeah.
The Birdcage over and over again is the answer.
It's a pretty good answer there.
That's a good remake.
Yeah. All right, let me go. What's our second question?
All right. Second question comes from Bloodbath from the Blood, Guts, and Blu-ray podcast.
Ooh.
And Bloodbath asks, who is the creepiest horror kid? For example, we'll just go with them. He says like Jacob from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, Gage from Pet Sematary, Damien from The Omen.
The Orphanage.
What? You just go with like all the kids in general and their evil masks?
The kid with the burlap sack on his head.
I mean, that was creepy as hell. I'm not denying that wasn't creepy. Like I'd say that kid is probably playing with those hopscotch or whatever it's called girls from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Oh, those little dorks.
Like the nursery rhyme girls.
Ugh.
Those are some creepy girls.
And they were in the dream, weren't they?
Yeah.
So what are they doing in there?
I don't know. They're just singing nursery rhymes, creeping out Heather Langenkamp.
That opens up a subplot I don't even want to talk about.
Well, next Halloween.
I tell you what, though, I don't like little kids with bowl cuts. in horror
You
movies.
want to talk little kids with bowl cuts? My pick is from Children of the Corn. My pick is Isaac, that little cult leader from Children of the Corn.
Like the kid Damien had a bowl cut from Omen. The kid from Pet Sematary, somewhat bowl cut. The kid
Somewhat bowl
from The Grudge, kind of a bowl cut.
That was pretty bowl cutty. I'll give
I
you
don't
that.
like
Yeah.
horror kids with bowl cuts.
Didn't you have a bowl cut when you were a kid?
Oh, it's terrible. It was like it wasn't like a bowl cut. It was like a cylinder, a colander cut,
Okay.
A colander cut,
like a
it's-
large mixing bowl cut. Dude, my hair was long. I had a mullet for a while, and then I went to like my mixing bowl cut.
You know, it was like the early 90s, later, like late 80s. I think that was just the accepted style for kids.
Yeah.
You know, mullet / rat tail.
You know,
Slash bowl cut.
Game Pet Cemetery. He was a.
And Umbro shorts.
Oh, God.
Oh, I remember Ambrose from soccer. From
Yeah.
my soccer days.
That's right. But yeah,
Dude, but Gage from Pet Cemetery, that was like a pure evil child when he was like from the cemetery. Like he cut Fred Gwynn's Achilles tendon with a scalpel,
Ouch.
and then he bit his throat.
yeah.
And then after that, he looked all cute to his dad, who then
I like-
like broke his neck. I think.
I like at the end he goes, "No fair."
Yeah. Oh my God, that was like 1 part sweet and endearing and 9 parts evil masking itself.
Yeah, a little punk. And he like flew too. I hate little people with scalpels too.
Yeah, because
That means they're just gonna
they're at
blow up
groin
your
level.
Achilles.
We're gonna get into some scalpel talk later in this podcast too. I've
Sure.
got some scalpel issues,
Oh,
but
yeah, that's-
I'll hold off on those scalpel issues. Lazavat, creepiest horror kid. You cannot say Christina Ricci from Casper.
Does Samara still count as a little kid, or is she like too old?
I'm pretty sure she counts.
Because I
she's a
wasn't
little
sure if
kid.
she was like a teen or a preteen or something like that. She wasn't like a little girl, you know.
She was preteen.
I mean, she was 8 to 12. She was some like I don't have kids, so I'm not good at gauging kids' ages. She was 8 to 12.
That'd be funny if she was like 45.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well, I
good
mean,
at gauging.
Well, hold on. I think the actor is a dude who was probably like 45. It was just a petite dude who played Samara.
Sure.
Didn't
sure.
she looked at people, they died.
No,
I
it
mean,
was
not
the
the Samara scenes. In the Samara scenes in the video, it's the girl. But when it's coming out of the dripping TV from the well, it's a guy.
yeah.
Actor.
Yeah.
A guy
So yeah, so Samara, for obvious reasons, she's just really, really creepy. And also that cute little girl from Poltergeist. Like, she wasn't really all that scary, but she just has like that really iconic line. They're here.
When she says they're here, yeah.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
What was the line, lads?
They're here. That was
Yeah,
my
that's
impersonation.
Laz, you sound like you did that voiceover.
Yeah.
That little burlap sack kid in the orphanage. I remember I was watching that movie alone in Korea, and I was eating pizza and I had a beer in my hand. I think I almost dropped my beer, like because like that little punk with like the mask, and I was like, I was like, what? You know, like man, that movie really put my soul in a headlock. The
You know,
orphanage.
what's funny is that I could imagine you dropping your beer to that now, but back then you were like fearless.
Yeah, I
Like
hit it-
you
I
were
hit
like
it well.
immortal in your 20s.
Yeah, I lived hard, but but it started to change for me when I moved to like 6 months. That's why I moved to Korea. I started getting my head straight. So like, because I was gonna live fast, die young, be happy, whatever they call it. But dude, that got me bad. Like, oh gosh, right now if I did it, like I would squeeze the beer so hard, like beer would shoot at the ceiling. I would be like, "Ah!"
You'd shatter the pint glass in your hand.
Yeah, that's right. And I wouldn't care about my hand. I'd just be like, my beer. My pretentious craft beer.
Yeah, there's actually,
Pretentious craft beer. That's the answer.
I'm sure we're missing like a whole bunch too. Like, I'm just Googling like random lists, and like they're all like 20 plus, 50 plus, like little kids.
Oh yeah, I mean you got like those blonde kids from the Village of the Damned.
Or
You
them,
got-
those kids from them.
There were kids in them.
Yeah, they were teenagers though.
I don't
Yeah.
remember them.
Oh, you also like the little twin girls from the Shining.
Oh, The Shining.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
The that little kid from The Grudge.
The bowl cut kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, who screams like a meow or whatever, a hiss or whatever it was. It was a cat sound.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, the point
Yeah,
is that kids are just scary in general.
Kids are
those-
terrifying. That's why I don't have any kids, because they're terrifying.
Yeah. So kids are terrifying. That's the final answer. Horror movie
I
or
don't want
not.
to wake up dead. That's why I don't have kids. I don't want to wake up dead.
It's either
'Cause they're
dead or
they're
changing
evil.
diapers.
I'm
or whatever.
totally making shit up.
Yeah. All right. That's that does it for listener questions for now. Thank you once again to our listeners for those wonderful questions. We hope you were enlightened in one way or another.
I'm gonna start thinking about so many scary kids now. It's gonna be annoying.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's time to move on to the topic at hand. Lovingood, I think you got a topic for us this week.
Yeah, way back. If you wind back the sands of time, you can't really wind back sands of time. I guess you wind back the clock.
No,
But
just flip it over. Flip over.
If you wind back, if you flip the sands of time and you go back to episode 33.
Wait, if you flip the sands of time, are you just like throwing it behind your back?
No, it's an
I don't
hourglass.
know what I'm doing. Like with salt? I don't know.
It's an hourglass, right? What else would sands of time refer to?
Yeah, but what if people don't know? Like, what if people aren't familiar with hourglasses and they're like, I just don't get it?
If you drive a DeLorean 88 miles an hour, strike it with lightning, and go back to Halloween of last year, you will hear our podcast number 33, where
Wait. Are you driving on sand? Because you're not getting 88 miles an hour in the DeLorean. Do you have a buggy? Do you have an ATV?
It's backwards in the sand, and I have beach tires on the DeLorean.
I'm trying to imagine someone looking at an hourglass trying to figure it out. I just don't get it. You're holding it sideways. I'm like, what do I do with it?
And someone is like, you're so close.
It's just
You're so close.
All right, but 1 year ago,
Wouldn't that be hell? Like, you couldn't get sand into the engine.
yeah.
no, that's not good for the Pistons or whatever.
And what beach are you on?
That's true.
I don't know. Boynton Beach in Australia? I don't know.
Interesting. All the beaches.
I'm gonna look up hourglasses on Amazon right now.
Yeah. Low
Okay.
tide, high
All
tide.
right. So last year we did John Carpenter's Halloween versus Rob Zombie's Halloween for our Halloween special. And because this is our second Halloween special, we are doing John Carpenter's, although he didn't direct it, Halloween 2 versus Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, 1978 versus 2009. Or I'm sorry, 1981 versus 2009.
Neither one
And
wins.
so we're going No, neither. That's very fair. I think that when we wind back the clock, Carpenter clearly won.
If we wind back the clock, aren't we just messing up ourselves?
oh dear, I've gone cross.
Can you travel back in time?
Like for real? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I mean, if you wound back the clock, the clock would just be wrong then.
I suppose, taken literally and given modern science, that is accurate on two very strong accounts.
Interesting.
But given movies that have time travel,
You just Bruce Willis it.
i.e. Time Cop,
Yeah. You just have to have a watch.
I just picked the most prestigious and scientifically accurate time travel movie I could think of, Time Cop,
Yeah, not Primer.
Yeah.
where there's no rules or no rhyme or reason at all to time travel. It's just like, here's your device, time travel, done.
They steal from Back to the Future, and then they have a watch to get back. So I guess he does go forward with the hands of time.
He goes forward and backward and wherever he wants in the hand of time. 1981. They made a sequel to Halloween. John Carpenter didn't direct it. I understand that he was mostly involved in writing it. It was maybe a little rushed, maybe a little movie dealed, where there was a little obligation there. But we had a Halloween 2. It was only 3 years after the initial Halloween movie in 1978, which was, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, the highest grossing independent film of its ever, adjusted for?
Until PA, Paranormal Activity.
Until Paranormal Activity. That's honorable, though. That's great. Yeah. And Halloween, the first one, was seminal, transformative to the horror genre, I think we can say. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of it today, I can acknowledge how powerful it was in the history of horror. This second movie, I really don't feel any of that nostalgia. I don't feel any of its importance, to be honest. My overall view of this Halloween 2, 1981, was it's not disappointing, but to me it's almost like just another slasher that echoes Halloween 1 very readily. What was your initial impression, Mark, after watching?
Like if you
Halloween
put a
2?
car up in the air, right, and just floored it, try to go about 80 miles an hour while going, just put your foot on the gas while the car goes nowhere. I felt like that was this film.
That could be. So when this
movie just wasted
opens,
its time. It's stupid. And John Carpenter reshot a lot of the death scenes in it because he thought it should be more gory. And those are a lot of the stupid scenes. And it was 3 years after Halloween, and there had already been a bunch of remakes. So this wasn't like Scream, and then Scream 2 was remade a year later. They waited 3 years to do this. And I guess the plot is just Jamie Lee Curtis in a hospital, and then Michael Myers slowly killing nurses and doctors in the most abandoned hospital I've ever seen, while a bunch of dum-dums do dum-dum stuff, and they ended up dead.
So I had not seen this movie probably since high school. And when I turned it on, I was thinking, like, okay, let's watch Halloween 2. I'm doing podcasting homework. This will be a fun discussion. But I didn't necessarily have high expectations. This movie actually started pretty happily with me. I started with a smile because they're playing Mr. Sandman, that little song. And then we totally watch like the last 4 minutes of 1978's Halloween over again, because this movie picks up exactly where Halloween ends. And where that ends is that Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance, shoots Michael Myers 6 times. He falls from a second story of the house, and then he totally disappears. And we're given the evidence that he can bleed because there's blood, but that he's inhuman enough that he was able to just walk away.
Well, Loomis yada yada is some like druid bullcrap, which comes into play later in the series. And he's like, yeah, something about some druids.
But that's not until part 4.
Yeah, but he mentions it in this one as kind of like maybe that's why he's still alive.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. There's a good yada yada. There's a hint to future mythology. And so Loomis shoots him 6 times. The sequel's picking right up. And by the way, something that I noticed, and I noticed to the point that I specifically looked this up. Now, I realize that data on actors' heights isn't always super accurate online. But in the first movie, they say the actor who played Michael Myers was 6 feet tall. Fine. Jamie Lee Curtis is like 5'7"-ish. The girl who goes topless in the first one is like 5'8". And so 6 feet is tall next to that. In this movie, Dick Warlock, they bill him as 5'9" in IMDb. He is not a big guy. At one point, he walks up behind someone, and we see him right behind someone. Like, Michael Myers is very human in this movie. Human-sized. I mean, not human in terms of mortality, because clearly we can't kill him. So I thought that was odd. That I don't remember that from my early viewings. Did you guys catch that, or do you have a response or a judgment about the size of Michael Myers in this?
No.
It never really bothered me, to be honest. It was just like, I don't know. You just don't really think about it, really. Oh, I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I was just so annoyed that he was wasting time. Like, I'd never thought about the height either. I'm like, why did he insert a needle into a woman's arm and let her bleed all over the floor?
Yeah, there were a lot of other things to complain about. Like his height was at the bottom.
So this movie, by the way, so in the first movie, the only interesting thing about any of the kills was kind of after the kill, he stuck the guy into the wall, and then he did that little head tilt that they then mimic in every movie. But in this one, like, he did that, right? He did the blood drain death, and he did the syringe to the temple death.
Yeah, he dumped a woman's face in hot water.
Right, in super hot water, and her face is all blistering, and there's skin flaps. It's like all of a sudden, maybe this is what you were referring to with John Carpenter reshooting some of the death scenes. Like, this was starting to feel a little more mainstream slashery to what came out in the time after Halloween. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it was like Carpenter knew the audiences would want more. So he just gave them more, because after Halloween, they started making movies that, after Scream, they made movies that sort of missed the point of Scream.
Sure.
They kind of did that after Halloween. So he's like, well, we'll just give them what they want. And he added a bunch of...
You know what else is that? This movie had jump scares, too. Like, and I don't mean...
The cat? Oh!
There were a couple, man. There was the cat. There was when the security guard opens the closet and all the boxes fall on him, all the empty boxes. Like, there were a few, like, silly jump scares going on, too.
It's a dumb movie.
Sorry, Carpenter. Love your part one, not so much this one. So that hot tub scene, we kind of touched on that one. That one seems like, I don't know, a little forced and out of place, too. It was just an excuse to give us boobs and have Mike Myers sneak up on her like he did the woman when he was wearing the ghost outfit, the bed sheet in part one. And, what's interesting is that all this time, right, like, we're kind of working our way halfway through the movie already. And where is Laurie Strode?
She's laying in bed like an idiot.
Unconscious, right? Like, she's unconscious. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis, I didn't even realize it. She's not the star of this movie.
Yeah. Nope.
Donald Pleasance is the star of this movie. And one of the nurses, maybe. I don't know. Like, there are a lot of interesting things going on in this movie. It seems like it's firing on all cylinders, but the cylinders are all from different cars, and they're not going in the same direction.
The only part, there's two parts I liked in this movie, is that Michael Myers didn't kill the older lady in the beginning. He just took her knife. I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. And then there's a scene where this cop is like walking away from this house, right? And there's someone in the way, and the cop just goes, "Get out of here!" and he pushes him. A cop pushes some random guy. I thought that was funny, and I just also wondered about how big the hospital was. Lazarus, how big is that hospital?
Let's just say.
I want specs.
Hold on. Oh, you want like exact details? Well, I'm gonna Google it right now.
Yeah,
I want specs.
Oh, here we go in the Living Good research community.
It was big.
All right, Laz, what is it?
Oh no, I haven't pulled it up.
The listeners are waiting for exact figures.
I feel like it was like a quarter mile long, because Michael Myers was walking around it for 80 minutes.
Even limping like Jamie Lee Curtis was with that little bandage she had on her sprained ankle or whatever, like, she limped for like 10 straight seconds as fast as she could limp. If I walk 10 seconds at regular speed, which is probably her fast limping speed, down the hallway of a hospital, 10 seconds, I'd be a quarter of the way across the am I nuts? Wouldn't I be like a quarter of the way across that hospital?
I mean, are you like Mr. Fantastic?
I'm 6'3". I take good steps. She was hustling though.
Like if he's invincible, he doesn't need to like hide the hospital. Like, all he has to do, like, no one's gonna do anything to him. Like, he could just walk through it and just murder people.
So speaking of Invincible, at the end of this movie, just to skip to that for a moment, like, so at the end of Halloween, he got shot 6 times and he fell 20 feet. And then he just got up and left and strolled around town, right? So now here we are, like, what do you think? 6 hours later, tops, by the end of the second movie? 2 to 6 hours later? So he's already been shot 6 times. He fell 20 feet. Loomis unloads his entire revolver in a gun. Probably hits him 5 or 6 times. And then, later, Laurie shoots him twice in the head. He's bleeding from his eyes. He has at this point been shot potentially 10 to 14 times. And then there's an explosion, and he's on fire. And he's going to live.
Druids.
And he's going to live. But what's more is that Loomis, who was in that room where the explosion was, he's in part 4 as well.
Yeah. Druids.
Like, he must have gotten some Myers blood in him during the explosions that he too is invincible.
What do you think about this movie, Lazvath?
You know, I'm gonna take it back to the first movie. Like, what made Halloween 1 so great and iconic was that it just had like this kind of stressful urgency about it throughout the whole movie. Like, whenever the characters were alone, whenever Laurie was like out and about at night, you were just like thinking in the back of your head, like, oh, you gotta get back home, like right now. Like, you gotta get to safety. And this one, it's just like you never felt like that kind of stress. Like, it was just like you were just watching a movie, you know? Like, the first movie made you feel scared, made you feel stressed out. This one was just like, yeah, I'm definitely watching a movie here. I don't know. I know it's kind of, I'm going off of feelings here. I'm not really getting the specifics, but it's just, I don't know. That's a big difference to me. I'm just like, I got no feeling on this one. You know,
there's no urgency.
Yeah,
there was no like reason for it. It was just a bunch of dum-dums. Like,
so in the first movie, I only ever cared about Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis. I never actually gave a damn when anyone else got killed. I mean, I cared about Donald Pleasance too, but like, of the victims, I only cared about Laurie Strode. In this one, I kind of favored that one nurse who was trying to contact the security guard, who was trying to do something, but I didn't really feel for Laurie, our heroine, our purported heroine in this. So I feel like in the hero was all Donald Pleasance, I guess, and Laurie was just here. Like, was she shooting another movie at the time? Why wasn't she in much of this? I don't know. It's very strange. Yeah, and this also, by the way, is the movie where they revealed that she is Michael Myers' little sister.
Yeah, another stupid.
And that maybe that's why he was coming after her. Like, was he trying to hug her? Was he trying to kill her? Was he presumably kill, right? Because we saw it all through the first movie. But, like, why would that be when in the first movie he killed his sister, he killed his babysitter, we don't know of a baby in that house, so why would he suddenly want to kill his baby sister? I'm kind of left with the question of motive, whereas in the first movie, as Mark, you pointed out so well, like in last year's Halloween episode, like, we didn't know his motive, ergo he had the terror of mystery.
Yeah.
In this one, they tried to hand us a motive, and I don't know, it didn't work for me.
No. However,
I love it.
However, I do think that H2O, Halloween H2O, is a much better film than Halloween 2.
I think that is 100% accurate.
Because there's like a narrative to it. Michael kills that nurse, right? And JGL drives out, somehow makes it all the way to drive into her. And then it becomes, everyone leaves, and it becomes him hunting Jamie Lee Curtis and her kids. Like, it's a logical... There's urgency to it. There's some dread. LL Cool J's in it. He's writing sexy books. This one, there's no urgency or sexy books.
Yeah.
You know? I don't like it.
Boy, and I love me some LL in scary movies like Deep Blue Sea.
I did like the cop in Halloween 2. Remember the cop? So this nurse comes to get Donald Pleasance to take him out of the state, and this cop is taking him. Donald Pleasance pulls a gun on him in Halloween 2, and he's like, "We're going back." And the guy's like, "Oh, okay." And Donald Pleasance, Loomis, I guess, goes to the cop. He's like, "You want to come in with me?" And the cop's like, "I got nothing better to do." Like, I thought that was kind of funny. Like, I like that cop.
Wait, you know what's ridiculous about that cop, though? Once they're at the hospital, he tells the nurse, "Go back and radio and help." And after, at gunpoint, right, having his police car hijacked and taking Donald Pleasance into the hospital, he has the gall to suddenly say, "I'm the only one authorized to use that radio."
And then he wouldn't leave the dead body alone. He's like, "It's not dead. He is dead. Fine, he's dead." Like, I'm like, get away from him. leave him alone. And then he gets his throat slit.
He totally had that coming. And wait, so he got his throat slit, right, with a scalpel.
Ugh.
Mike Myers is holding a scalpel, and in this movie, he swings the scalpel, and it makes a sound. Like, he's getting so much velocity swinging that scalpel that you're hearing the air whooshes. Like, I hated that scalpel, man. That was horrible.
And then when he got blinded, he knew Laurie was in the corner, but he was swinging 4 feet above her.
Yeah.
He took like 50 swings.
He was trying to take out a ceiling fan.
I feel like he should have cut down the whole building in that time frame.
Yeah. What a stupid movie.
All right.
Sorry, John Carpenter. So, by the way,
not sorry, John Carpenter.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys.
So I was listening to the.
Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm good, but now's a good time to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Make us an associate producer, John Carpenter.
When I say pod, you say
pie.
Wait a minute.
Whoa, what's
Robert,
going on, Kyle?
take your headphones off real quick.
Okay, sorry.
John, what the hell is this?
Oh, I don't know. Robert invited me over. And
Yeah, I
had
don't
no
know.
idea.
This is kind of awkward. Are we
Yeah.
doing like a promo or something?
I don't know. I wish he'd put on his pants though.
Yeah, he's like dancing around. He's talking about Shark Dropper.
I think he's looking for the baby oil.
Anyways, Robert, what are we doing?
Huh?
What are we doing?
What was that?
What are we
I
doing?
can put my headphones back on?
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing a promo for Shark Dropper.
Oh, okay.
That podcast we do that has improv, and we just talk about our daily lives
Oh,
and
that's
stuff.
true.
Yeah.
I still wish you'd find your pants.
Where can I
though.
find it?
Oh, wait, are we supposed to wear sharkdropper.com?
Short time.
Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. So earlier in the podcast, the discussion was about hourglasses and the like. And so I decided to just look up hourglasses on Amazon. You know, why wouldn't you? And I came across a particular one, and I was reading one of the reviews that I wanted to share with you guys. They gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I'm going to read it to you. So this hourglass clocked in at 72 minutes. I had to take it apart and take some sand out to make it accurate. That's why I gave it 3 stars out of 5.
Wait.
So just imagine a guy just like. So I just imagine
was 20% off.
Yeah, I was just imagine this guy like something out of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, just like measuring sand, like trying to figure out what's the right amount to take out.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. So
I
that
don't know
was-
how many attempts it took him.
Is that a joke?
I don't know. It looks like a pretty legit review.
I hope it's a joke.
Can you
I hope
imagine
that's
like
a joke.
if it took multiple times? Because each time like you would have to wait like an hour at least.
An hour and a few minutes until you got it right.
This is why people don't buy hourglasses anymore.
Yeah.
Too much.
Well, I
too much
guess you
work.
find instead you find a correct hourglass, weigh the sand, then weigh the sand of the incorrect hourglass, do a little algebra, and you would only have to do the correction once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that's funny. Yeah, this
But I
hourglass.
didn't even think of that until we had been talking about it for 10 minutes. So if it was my hourglass, I'd be like scooping out sand and trying all over again.
All right. So I think we have one more listener question, right, Levingood?
Yes, sir. This one comes from returning questioner Josie from Las Vegas, who asks, this is a long one. Is there a horror movie out there with a Jason or a Michael with a female lead? A female as the unkillable deranged psycho killer. A female who kills for no discernible reason. And why is it that when females kill from the afterlife in horror movies, it's almost always for revenge because they're murdered? Why do they never just kill because they're crazy?
So what they're looking for is the female version of a Michael Myers or Jason. I mean, I don't.
It would be
So I was a little.
It would be Sherry Moon from Devil's Rejects.
Oh yeah.
But she's killable.
Well, I said the closest.
Okay. Like, yeah.
Listen
like
to
the
my
closest
words,
I-
Living Good.
Sure. The closest I came to, I'll emphasize closest the same way, was like Angela from Sleepaway Camp, but that was kind of like Jason, where hedged from revenge, and now just all those jerky counselors are now in her sights. But hedged from revenge. This is a little tough, right? Jason comes from revenge. Freddy maybe comes from revenge or maybe opportunity, in my opinion. Michael Myers originally didn't have a motive and then maybe had a motive. We don't know the sister thing. I don't know what's going on there. So I had a little trouble with this one.
But that's always, it's been interesting because they do that in other movies too, like Gravity, when Sandra Bullock, she had to like get over the loss of her child and then she had to find a reason to live. In The Shallows, Blake Lively was bummed about her mom dying from cancer and she was like running away. So I feel like there's always like, they always saddle, either killers or like women who need to survive. Like in Predator, no one had issues. Like, I guess in Alien, they didn't really have that, but I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, but don't a lot of ghosts want to like, what movies are there with male ghosts?
See, I'm kind of tempted to reverse it, like you're saying, Mark, because like when I think of Freddy, Jason, and Mike Myers, to review, Mike Myers, he might have been killing for no reason in those first two movies. There's hints of a motive, but it might have been no reason, right? And
Druids
later came up, potentially Druids. And then Freddy, he was evil to begin with and then was stopped. So was it revenge or was it just the opportunity of being a dream demon where he just kept killing the Elm Street kids? Jason's a little vague too. He was doing it for revenge, but he at some point just started aiming for anyone who's a 20-something camp counselor or anyone between him and a 20-something camp counselor. So he is not so discerning. Mike Myers is not necessarily so discerning. Freddy has a target. But with that in mind, that one of our three most classical chain killers, if you will, has a target, and the other two are potentially not very discriminating. Do male killers in horror movies actually have a bias that's discernible from women? I mean, I feel like Jason and Mike Myers are more the exceptions and not the rule. Like, I feel like most killers in movies are for revenge, regardless of sex. Do you think I'm wrong?
Like Norman Bates. He had 4.
Well,
so you're saying most killers in movies are for what?
I'm saying that there is not necessarily a bias to unkillable, deranged, indiscriminate killers when it comes to sex. I'm saying that there are probably plenty of deranged, indiscriminate, unkillable killers that are female, and there are plenty of them that are males. And if there's a bias, I almost suspect it's kind of like a sociological male aggression trend that people are choosing them instead of women. Getting a little deep here. I'm just saying, based on the question from Josie, I don't necessarily think that there is a bias favoring men for this unkillable deranged killer, whereas it sounds by her question that she thinks that there is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, there aren't a lot of things that I can think of that really come up with this. I mean,
Which women have come back after they were murdered? I know, like, if you think about, like, Fatal Attraction, Glenn Close was treated terribly, then she wanted revenge. There's single white female that had to deal with, like, she wanted to take over the life. The Crush, she got a crush.
Valentine's Day was a female killer.
Oh, yeah, Denise Richards?
Wasn't it her?
Yeah, but she wanted revenge about something, right?
Right, but I mean,
Urban Legend, it was Rebecca Gayheart.
Right, but most male killers in movies want revenge. I'm just saying I don't think there's a bias.
Yeah. Oh, the killer in Scream 2, the mom, she wanted revenge. And she was killed.
But I mean, there are lots of male killers that are looking for revenge. In The Prowler, it was someone who was mistreated when he came back from, I think, World War II or Vietnam or something.
And then Shocker.
Right, revenge for sending him to the chair. Like there's a lot of revenge in male killers too. So I don't.
But I guess a lot of these guys don't want like. It seems like a lot of the women maybe that were killed were kind of jilted by men. Like What Lies Beneath, right? Didn't she want revenge on Harrison Ford?
Yeah. Because he murdered her. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, maybe there's, like you don't see many dudes becoming ghosts and then like wanting to hunt down a woman.
Yeah, and with regard to the unkillable part of her question being biased towards men, I don't feel like there are a lot of unkillable whatevers. By the way, Lights Out. Was that for revenge? Was that woman ghost going for revenge in Lights Out? Or was she just very possessive of Maria Bello? Because she was like an unkillable, deranged killer woman. I'm grabbing at an exception maybe in our questioner's opinion, but I don't think I see a big bias.
There's Mama. Yeah, I don't know. My brain's not working right now.
Mama was only defeated with love.
Yeah, but I do think I understand what she's getting at, though, because I do think there are, you talk about maybe Fatal Attraction. You talk about What Lies Beneath. There are examples of women who are just kind of,
I think that what you hit the nail on the head earlier, and that's that when the men want revenge, it's usually for killing them, whereas when the women want revenge, it's usually for a romantic purpose.
Yeah, and because the man killed them
in the movies.
Yeah,
I think that's maybe accurate, and to that I'll give Josie some credit. I agree with that.
And also look at the time. I know there were like other horror movies that came out. But I guess when you look at the time, I guess there were like femme fatales, but that was kind of a negative view. Like they kind of probably focus more on men and like those. And Halloween happened because Carpenter hated the end of Psycho. So then that's a man. He created a man because he wanted a shapeless figure. And then Freddy and Jason came about sort of in reaction towards the hype of Michael Myers' popularity. So those men came from, kind of a reactive type thing because Michael Myers opened up the door. So the most iconic killers we have are men because of just a trend that was occurring at the time.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, what was the revenge what was the revenge she wanted in Urban Legend?
I don't even know. Did it have to do with a bad grade from Robert Englund's class?
The Rebecca Gayheart, Jared Leto classic. I think like her brother got killed or something. Or she got blamed for something. I don't know. But I don't know. I get the question. This could be a good post.
Yeah, I mean, this is we're faltering a lot, but this is a difficult thing to answer. I hope that our listeners are appreciating that. But yeah, I thought about this for a while, and there's so many ideas flaring around. It's not like I could jot down a couple notes to really have an organized thought about it.
I mean, I do like that idea. Like, I don't know, that movie The Guest that just came out, like that could have been a woman in that role. I think it's time for that kind of thing, like just a crazy woman female killer. Like, well, I guess
who's like unkillable, deranged, and arguably human.
Yeah, and just like I guess not like a really human element, but like a supervillain that gets her own trilogy and just keeps coming back. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll certainly watch it.
It's interesting. We've come up with the final girl. There's always the girl that survives, the final girl. But we've never had like the incredibly deranged, unkillable, deranged psycho killer. Audition was good, but she wasn't an unkillable, deranged psycho killer.
Yeah, she was more just like a mastermind.
Yeah.
Who was sick.
I think it's time. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be interesting.
Call it.
Let her kill 18 men. I'm down.
And then Carrie wanted revenge too, I guess, in that movie. She like was pissed off at people, so she wanted revenge.
You know, she almost just lost it, though.
Yeah, it's true.
In that case, it almost wasn't. I mean, it was driven by what was done to her, but I feel like she just lost control.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
All right, let's do it. Let's do Jessica with Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Jessica will be the name.
Yep.
Nice.
And just have her slaughter campers for 12 years.
I feel you guys are overthinking it. I already have an answer.
What's
This is
what do you got?
definitive answer. The T-Rex from Jurassic Park. That was a female. So
Oh my!
there you go.
They didn't kill it at the end.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could argue that she killed for food, but you know, she probably killed for like fun too. Who knows? Whatever.
T-Rex.
There we go. That's the answer. I did it
watch over
in
those
a quarter of the
games,
time
too.
that it took you guys. So
Hey, wait, in the latest Mummy, Sophia Botella from Star Trek Beyond, podcast number 70-something, is going to be the Mummy. So this will be a good start.
oh, cool. Oh, man, you guys just overthink everything.
Wait,
Holy
you mean
crap.
the Tom Cruise Universal?
Yeah.
They're making it's a woman mummy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
T-Rex.
there you go. See how much faster I was? Right to the point, guys. That's how you answer a listener question.
You know what else? The Velociraptors, those two Velociraptors lived to the end.
Oh, yeah, clever girl.
Yeah, clever.
Actually, you know what? I think
that
like
movie was all about the women.
yeah. All right. I think we've all learned something. Thank you for that wonderful listener question. Loving good. I think it's time for the second part of our topic today.
So, 29 years after Halloween, Rob Zombie made his Halloween, and 28 years after Halloween 2, Rob Zombie made his Halloween 2. What I thought was pretty entertaining about this is how this movie started off for like 30 minutes, picking up where his own Halloween left off and where also the original Halloween left off. And for 30 minutes, we're watching what felt like all of 1981's Halloween 2 crammed into 30 minutes, right? Because, like, she goes to the hospital. There's this brutal surgery scene where, like, they're pulling off her fingernail and her finger's all broken up, and she's walking through she's walking through the town, like, in shock and everything, right? But then Mike Myers is there. He's killing like crazy. She falls into a dumpster filled with bodies, which made no sense. And then she wakes up because it was all a dream.
Hey, guys.
For 30 minutes, though. 30 minutes of the movie was a PTSD fever dream.
I love this movie.
Do you really love this movie?
No.
No.
I wrote 3 notes while watching this film. It is basically Michael Myers walking around killing random people, ugly filmmaking, and he yells when he kills.
It was only during the dream sequence when he was stabbing that nurse from The Help.
Yeah.
Where he was
Viola Davis. No, I'm sorry. Oh, no, not Viola Davis. Sorry.
like he was stabbed. That's the only time he's ever made a sound, and any of the 4 the first 2
Oh, gosh.
Rob Zombie and the first 2 Carpenter movies.
It's Octavia Spencer. I jumped the gun on that. Sorry, John. I feel bad. It wasn't Viola Davis. You said The Help, and I went, oh, hey, but it was Octavia Spencer. Oscar winner.
But that was weird, right? And so this movie, this like fever dream, kind of started out though with something that wasn't fever dream, and it was it's like it took place between him going into the mental facility and Rob Zombie's first Halloween, and the beginning of Rob Zombie's first Halloween. So it's like it was during the visitations where Sherry Moon Zombie is the mother, and he seemed totally normal to me. And he had this weird dream about a horse, and this horse haunts this entire movie, where he says, "I dreamed of you, Mom, and you were all dressed in white, and you had a white horse, and we rode the horse home." And I feel like this creative idea that Zombie had that maybe was a little poetic and interesting just plagued this movie.
Everything plagued this movie. It's a bunch of ugly people. It's a bunch of ugly, gross people. This movie, after the flight, so in the flashback, there's two guys in a car talking about necrophilia, right? And then when you realize it's not a dream, Michael Myers walks around murdering gross people for about 30 minutes. So there's no plot. Nothing furthers the plot. He goes into strip clubs with gross people. He goes to gas stations with gross people. The car pulls up to him full of gross people. Like, it's just him killing gross people with no plot movement whatsoever.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's just stupid. There's nothing like, there's no characters who change. There's no like growing. It's just a mean movie where he kills gross people. But you know what though? Those gross people that Michael Myers kills are like so bad and gross that when he kills them, you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. Which makes horror movies pointless. Because if the villain's going around killing a bunch of gross people, that there's nothing scary about that. You're just watching gross, and they all smack, they all spit a lot, they swear too much.
So I'm going to say something nice about one character, because in the first Rob Zombie Halloween, I did not care about anybody, whereas in the second movie, I actually cared a bit about Annie, played by Danielle Harris.
Yeah, she's
who
nice.
I didn't care about her in the first movie, though. In the first movie, she was just a random person to get tortured, and she went through the ringer, and I kind of felt badly for her character after she started getting tortured, but not before that. Whereas in this movie, right, so Laurie is now just loaded with psychological maladies and PTSD and distrust, and whenever she looks at her friend who survived from the first movie, played by Danielle Harris, and the scars on her face, she's reminded of what she went through, and she just takes out all of her anger and makes a scapegoat out of Annie, Danielle Harris. And so I felt badly for Danielle Harris. That's the only character in this movie that had my sympathy, was not the star.
Well, I thought the guy, the sheriff, Brad Dourif, the Lee Brackett guy, I kind of liked him. The dad, I don't know. There was some warmth to him, at least. Like, there was like some...
A little bit, yeah.
There was like some humanity.
With the whole wheat pizza that he intentionally forgot to get whole wheat dough, and he got half meat when they said no meat. Yeah. So I agree. And he adopted Laurie. And you said, by the way, you made the good point that none of the characters grow during the movie. All the growth took place between the movies, where Laurie became this kind of ugly person, right, where now she's taking everything out on the people around her, and Annie is now sympathetic to Laurie. But all this happened between the movies, not during them, which is, I agree, a big fault.
Yeah. Laz, what do you think, Laz?
Okay. So I think, taking all the way back to Halloween 1, John Carpenter's version, I mentioned it before, but what made it so great is that there was like this stressful urgency, and it takes a really subtle hand to pull that off. You can't just like kind of jackhammer like jump scares and kills and deaths and all like that to make the concept work, because you need to treat it with care, like Carpenter did in the first movie. And I feel like that concept just isn't really suited for Rob Zombie. You know, I just I've the only Rob Zombie movie that I've actually enjoyed and I felt like it was a good movie was House of a Thousand Corpses, and it's basically just the antithesis of Halloween 1. Like, it's just gory, in your face, it's mean, but he makes it work somehow. It's just he's trying to apply that same methodology to the Halloween concept, and it just doesn't work, really. It just
and
it doesn't work at all.
Just like his remake of the original Halloween, both that and this have no less than 30 minutes of unnecessary Act 1.
yeah.
The first movie was all the family crap that was kind of inconsistent, to be honest. And this one, it was all of this fever dream in the hospital that was a playback to John Carpenter's second Halloween. So he gives these long openings. Both of these movies that he did were 2 hours, and they should have been 90 minutes, minus his first of 4 acts.
You know what's
I
the
don't think
biggest?
he wanted to make these.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Les. Go ahead.
Just, you know what the biggest sin Rob Zombie commits in these Halloween movies is that Michael Myers, the character, doesn't really feel out of place in the world he's created. Like in Halloween 1, like Michael Myers definitely it definitely doesn't feel like he belongs. Like, he definitely feels like an outsider. In the Rob Zombie movies, Michael Myers, he definitely feels like he belongs in that environment, just because like the rest of the characters are just kind of mean and ugly and just like. Yeah, it just you don't feel like that sympathy for those characters, like when they're getting killed off, and I'm just like, good. I'm glad they're getting killed off. Yeah, it's like
he's killing so many gross people.
Yeah, it's just you're just kind of twisting the concept of Michael Myers in a bad way, you know.
So, and I agree with all that. I also think that in the second movie, not necessarily the first one as much, but in this one, he's trying to be really, really deep and artistic and clever, and he's trying to do too much. Like, I kind of admire a few of the things that he tried to do unsuccessfully. Like, but he had the dimensions of Michael Myers' delusions, where he sees himself as child Michael Myers interacting with ghost angelic mother Sherry Moon Zombie and the White Horse over and over again in the movie. That's a recurring theme. It's a deep and distracting one. And then there's that 30-minute fever dream sequence honorarium to 1981's Part 2. And then there's the heavy psychological conflict by Laurie taking it out on Annie, and all the scenes with her psychoanalyst and all the conflict she's dealing with there. And it goes all the way to the end of the movie, and it merges with Michael Myers' crap with his mother and the horse. And like, I feel like if he just did one of these concepts, the movie might have worked better because they're major concepts. But when you put too much in the same stew pot, then you end up, when you put all those flavors in one place, you end up with no distinct taste or style. And as a result, there are all these ideas brewing here, and none of them get to come to fruition. None of them get to develop. None of them, they just keep distracting each other, in my opinion.
I don't remember a single line from this movie.
I forgot when they said it's not whole wheat crust.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember that. But I remember a lot of Loomis lines.
He just wanted his wife to be in the movie again, too. And that's fine, but it was so shoehorned in. And there wasn't enough time spent on it to even build the character. It was like Suicide Squad and Joker. Like, it was just
everything, though.
Yeah, but it was just so shoehorned in there. And when you know Rob Zombie movies, you're like, yeah.
You know what? When he does all this stuff shoehorned in, nothing has any synthesis. Everything's distracted. And you know what else? I felt like this movie, with all the artistic things he was trying to do in this fever dream stuff, not the opening sequence, but just like the stuff with Michael Myers seeing himself as little Michael Myers while hallucinating his mother and the horse, like, that felt like a trial run for Lords of Salem. Because that was a really trippy, weird, distracted, undersynthesized movie as well. I mean, he was doing a lot of cool things, but they didn't get enough follow-through, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Let me tell you something that I liked. I mean, then we can come back to more things I didn't like and you didn't like. But here are two things I liked. One, I like any movie that's bold with a head stomp, even if it's Rob Zombie going over the hill. But what I really liked was that Michael Myers deadlifted and flipped a car. Just because it's like a weightlifting thing. He took a sedan and he deadlifted it and then like shoulder pressed it and he flipped a sedan. That was pretty cool. That was like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Twins turned into Supernatural Killer.
Ugh.
You didn't like it when he deadlifted the car?
No.
See, I was just kind of yelling at the screen like I was watching World's Strongest Man.
Oh gosh. And then what was your second thing you liked?
Well, this is something that I like that he tried and that, again, I think totally failed. So we really, really, really see Michael Myers' face. It all failed. But I like that he tried that. He tried to do something really different. He tried to really show us the killer for more than just a glimpse, like in John Carpenter's Part 1. The downfall, unfortunately, is that I feel like it almost humanized him.
Yeah.
Mortalized him. It made him feel like just a vagrant from the Devil's Rejects. But that was a bold thing to try to do to someone who is named for being a shapeless killer.
You know, we were talking about this earlier, and John Carpenter recently had some pretty harsh words about these movies and Rob Zombie.
Oh,
So, do you have a quote, Mark?
Well, yeah, he said that Rob Zombie's a piece of shit.
No, he didn't say that.
Yes, he did. He was at New York Film Academy Q&A, and he called him a piece of shit because Rob Zombie one time, he couldn't quite remember where he said it, of course, but he said that Rob Zombie was like, yeah, you know, John was really cold to me. And Carpenter's like, that's bullshit. He's like, I helped him out a lot. I was really great to him. And then he went on to complain about how, rightly complain about Carpenter was just like, he wrecked all he's like, it wasn't scary. Like he gave a faceless killer a stupid backstory.
Dude,
so,
in the first movie, Michael Myers' feet were very scary.
Yeah,
they were
gross.
the dirtiest feet in film history.
But he called Rob Zombie a piece of shit.
Well, if anybody can get away with that, it's John Carpenter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about their feud, but this movie though, I just feel like he didn't care. Like a 30-minute opening that means nothing. You know, like the kills were lazy. There's a scene where this woman and guy are in a van and they're having sex. There's zero reason for him to attack that van. No reason for him to attack that van. He doesn't know who's in the van. There's zero reason. It's just to show cruelty and nastiness. Like, you don't even care for any of these people. Like a second ago, the girl was like, "Oh yeah, you can give me a golden shower," and then Rob Zombie or Michael Myers kills her. It's just every kill was unnecessary. He didn't care about making anything exciting. He didn't care about making anybody likable.
I think he cared about the kills in the opening 30
His
minutes.
whole redemption arc, Malcolm McDowell's entire redemption arc. Oh, I did remember.
God.
I did remember a line in the movie, actually. One. So his entire, you know, he writes a book. It's shameless. It's exploitive, and that's the reason Michael comes after Laurie. But like at the end, Malcolm McDowell's like, "I'm gonna run in there and save the day," and he just gets pulverized, and that's it. Like it's like it builds to literally nothing.
You know, speaking of laziness, so now I wasn't a fan of the reveal in John Carpenter's Part 2 of Laurie Strode as Michael Myers' sister, but in this one, in the opening scene of Part 1 of that is Rob Zombie's Part 1, when the kid is found, when Kid Mike Myers is found after killing everyone else in the house, he is not wearing the mask. He's not wearing his, facade of evil, and he's sitting there loving his baby sister. So we know he has a baby sister. And so in the second movie, when she survives, right, and he was chasing her all in the first movie anyway, they don't say it, but we always know it's his sister. So we always knew the whole time. So why even have a reveal in Rob Zombie's Part 2 if he told us in part 1 on top of it being a remake. Like he's doing a remake, and he gave the reveal a whole movie early.
I'm telling
And
you,
now he's re-revealing.
he just didn't care. I just don't like. I just think it's all the dialogue was like. There's nothing. I remember dialogue from Devil's Rejects. Like I liked some of the dialogue from in the 10,000 Maniacs movie. That's a band. Right, House of a Thousand Corpses, and I said 10,000 Maniacs. But I don't think he tried at all in this movie to even be, iconic.
So I want to talk about the end, but before I talk about the ending, I want to make sure we get all the other cards on the table. Does anyone have any other aces up their sleeve right now to discuss?
Does anyone do you want to turn the time back? The sands of time?
I need to scoop out some sand because mine is 72 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So hold on.
So
Before I glue it back together and flip it over.
You ordered it from the same place.
So, okay, in the ending, right, there's almost like this surprise ending. There's helicopters. Laurie is sort of kidnapped into this little shed. She starts to hallucinate sort of the same hallucinations that grown Michael Myers is hallucinating.
Yeah, they had the same hallucinations.
And so they're sharing hallucinations, but they kind of reveal that, yes, she's nuts and there is not someone restraining her. Michael Myers is just watching her think that she's being restrained and, by his hallucination. So they're having the same damn hallucinations. Laurie has the vision of the mom and the white horse. Are we to assume then that when they accidentally shoot her, but they've shot down Michael Myers and she wanted to stab him, right? And then then they panicked and shot her, of all things. And then later we see her in a psych ward, which is kind of full circle almost to the hospital. But now she has this deliberately evil, completely unambiguous look on her face. Is this like some it runs in the family bullshit where now she's essentially Michael Myers, and if he does a third one, we're going to hear about druids? Is that what's going on? Because this was like totally senseless to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the wife in Jaws 4 having flashbacks of scenes of the boat from the first Jaws.
Right, and how Jaws made it down from the Caribbean, having never met her.
Yeah,
yeah,
they have the same visions. I think what you're saying is just all in the family, and now she went through all that crazy stuff, and now she is, now she's a new Michael Myers. She's a new psycho killer, but she has no one to like. She doesn't have revenge. There's nothing to get revenge on. She's just crazy.
I don't.
So if they made.
This might be the answer to Josie's listener question. She, in the next movie, may be that answer to that question.
Yeah, does that mean she could get shot and live?
I'm thinking so.
I still prefer a
She
T-Rex.
got shot in the end of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and we saw her sitting up looking. Did she get shot twice even? Like she got
A T-Rex would eat her.
She got
Totally.
I don't know. Maybe she'd just tear her way out with a scalpel.
Wait, didn't Will Ferrell survive a T-Rex attack in Land of the Lost?
Different
Oh my
T-Rex.
god, that movie.
That was a different T-Rex.
Oh.
But so I mean, this movie. I feel like Rob Zombie wrote this movie during his fever dream, and that's why this all looks like a fever dream of just like John Carpenter's Halloween 2 was kind of off the wall zany, but Rob Zombie's is just lunacy.
Yeah, but it's not fun lunacy. It's just like, all right, so this is what I'm comparing it to. In Jay and Silent Bob, I think I've talked about this before. They run past Gus Van Sant. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. They run past Gus Van Sant, who's making Good Will Hunting 2, like hunting season, and he's just sitting there counting cash, like while they're doing it. I feel like this is the sequel to. I don't know. I just feel like that That's what this is. That's why this was made.
So you don't think that Rob Zombie kind of, before he even started filming the first Halloween, you don't think he had like a vision of doing the first 2 Halloweens?
No.
Because I kind of figured that he did.
So that was his vision? So
Whoa, hold on. I'm not saying that he had it on paper and it looked good. I'm just saying that when he picked up, because there's John Carpenter's Halloween, there's the John Carpenter written Halloween 2, and then after that it's just based on John Carpenter's stuff, right? So, and they're a continuation of the same night. So I assumed that when Rob Zombie decided to pick up the reins, that he was picking it up for the 2 movies. That was my expectation.
So if I'm a studio exec and Rob Zombie comes in and he brings me some Dragula, some Dragula beer
With his bed bug ridden dreadlocks.
and he comes in on the big monster truck.
He has a bird's nest in his beard.
Yeah, he drives Dragula in and he goes, "This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Halloween. I'm going to make this kid. He's going to have parent issues. All right? Then he's going to grow up, become a giant, destroy a lot of property." End of the movie. Second movie, 30 minutes, fever dream. None of it's true. It's going to kill a bunch of rednecks. And then he and his sister are going to have visions of their mother and a horse. End.
If
I like it.
if Rob Zombie got anything accurate, it's that he picked like a 6'8", 300-pound guy to be his unstoppable killer. Because I do not buy a 5'9" guy getting shot 14 times and then surviving an explosion and being lit on fire.
Yeah, but that's scary to me.
But a 6'8" guy, I feel like it is not necessarily likely, but more likely that he will survive those same 14 bullets.
Like, I don't know.
And an explosion and being lit on fire.
I mean, I know what you're saying, but I'm more afraid of like the Norman Bateses, the kid from Hush, little trolls. I've never been like afraid of big killers.
When you say little trolls, are you referring to Trantor?
Yeah, snot face. I don't know. I don't know. A 5'9" killer like that, like in a mask, like that seems like more scary. Like this unstoppable force. Like that seems like I like the. You know what? I actually really like the size of Robert Patrick in T2. He wasn't some like muscle bound guy. He was like lithe and like skinny. I don't know. I've always liked that more.
Right. Well, I mean, in that case, size didn't necessarily matter, but it painted a really good picture of intimidation. And Rob Zombie, he's really a victim of liking huge characters, though, isn't he? Because in House of a Thousand Corpses, his Leatherface analog was like that 7'4" guy from Big Fish.
Yeah.
Or Real Big Fish, was that the name of the movie?
That's a band, Real Big Fish.
Okay, so Big Fish. Or Fish Story, or something like that. The Ewan McGregor movie.
Wait, you had it right the first time, and now you got me confused.
It's Big Fish?
Yeah.
Okay, the Ewan McGregor movie.
But then I was like, is Real Big Fish a band? And I was like, did you say Cold Fish?
That was a ska band. Yeah, I totally forgot that. But no, so but he used that like giant of a guy who's like 7'4" or 7 feet tall as his Leatherface analog. And Leatherface was a big guy in the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but he was like 6'4" or 6'6" or something. Well, then Rob Zombie gets a hold of it, and it's like a 7-foot guy who weighs another 100 pounds. Like, he likes big, menacing figures. He likes his big mosh pit guy, I think.
The only good part about Michael Myers is that he doesn't have to say a bunch of stupid Rob Zombie dialogue, because he just keeps his mouth shut.
Is it about horses?
Like, I just watched 31, and there's a cool-looking killer in it, but he talks way too much, and you're just like, shut up. Like Rob Zombie, like he has a great look as a killer, Doomhead in 31, but he just spouts a lot of Rob Zombie dialogue, and you just hate the guy towards the end. So maybe it was smart that he made a tall guy have no dialogue.
Right.
All right. Well, I have a confession, guys, and my confession is that as bad as I think this movie is, and his first attempt at Halloween, I do find these movies entertaining. I will willingly watch them again by choice. Not necessarily frequently, but they do entertain me.
I think they're cruel, nasty, and a waste of time.
So
I agree with the first two statements.
so that's the final verdicts for Halloween 2. You guys would say?
Cruel and nasty.
Cruel, nasty, waste of time, and I'm saying cruel and nasty but entertaining. If you like cruel and nasty movies.
For me personally, I think it's interesting that both the original and the remake of Halloween 2 are both equally terrible. So I guess
because Rob Zombie was writing his fever dream love story of a crappy film, so it had to be worse.
I guess in that regard, Rob Zombie succeeded. He kind of recreated the spirit of the original.
I mean, you know that. Hold on, Laz.
Is that on purpose?
You might be onto something, because now if you were to put a modern filter in front of your view of the first Halloween movie to Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie, he did not quite honor the mark. Now, I enjoyed it, but he did not. But if you put that same modernization filter between 1981 and 2009, Laz, you might be on. Dude, you are the doc of understanding time disparities.
He made a crappy sequel to a crappy sequel.
in that regard, Rob Zombie was successful.
So wow.
Yeah.
Actually.
Wow.
And I will add that I will be at least as willing, if not more willing, to watch Rob Zombie's sequel than John Carpenter's sequel.
Wow.
I'm John Carpenter. I'd watch John Carpenter sequels twice.
Maybe if
I'd watch
maybe
him 4
Carpenter-
times.
Maybe if Carpenter directed it.
I would do it. I would watch Halloween 2 4 times before I had to watch Halloween 2 once.
Wow. And on that bombshell, I think it's time to end the podcast. I didn't steal that, by the way. It's totally an original quote by me. But before we sign off, are there any plugs we want to make?
Yeah, there's a new podcast called Lazvath Rips Off Stuff. And basically it's just every episode where he'll memorize a podcast by heart, like a Mark Maron, Nerdist, anything from NPR, How Did This Get Made, Cracked. He'll memorize another podcast, and then he'll just recite it and then release it.
I don't admit to anything. Just enjoy your burrito, guys. Yeah.
So I have an indirect shout out to give to the Nerdy Bitches podcast, which is kind of a misnomer, by the way. They're not bitchy. I don't even know why they called themselves that, but they're a pop culture podcast. They kind of provided a thank you for some of the multimedia support that they were getting. Through our Twitter accounts, and they're very sweet. They admit that they're afraid of horror movies and they don't actually watch them, so they don't listen to the pod. But they very kindly like the attention that they get, and they like being tagged in Van Damme's butt posts. I think I mentioned them before.
Well, they need to make us associate producers then.
I'm going to relay that, and when I start promoting this pod when it comes out, I'm going to start tagging them, and I'm going to be like, look. You enjoyed it when I tagged you in Van Damme's butt post from Time Cop. You need to make us associate producers of Nerdy Bitches.
Also, you punk director from the other halves, you did not make Levingood an associate producer on your stupid movie that he helped support.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the movie.
Oh, okay.
You other halves, we're talking to you.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, but the fact that we don't have an associate producer tag, shots fired.
One day we'll get it.
I almost hope they don't listen.
You better be listening, you little punk.
I wrote a positive review of that movie back in January. The movie just got broadly released in the last couple weeks now in October. And so I was one of their early reviews.
A lot of people read it.
Yeah.
A lot of people did read it.
And didn't you help push for the Kickstarter or something like that?
I did that for a couple movies. I'm not sure if I did that for them or not.
Yeah, other halves.
Sure.
It's like, yeah, other halves. We're waiting for that check.
That's right, other halves.
Yeah. Also, check out The Lamb, the large ass movie blog.
Oh, much more importantly, I think people should be checking out some of the podcasts by our friends and John Lazavath at Shark
So
Dropper.
Jay, actually at The Lamb, commented he voted for me for our 90s pod. And he said that, I quote, Lazavath, he said, your first 3 picks were great, but your second 2 were shit.
What were my last 2? Like I think it was like Space Jam or something like that. So he's hating on Space Jam. his
And I
opinion
think he
is
was hating on Escape from L.A.
well. Then his opinion is automatically invalid.
That's right.
It doesn't count then. So
But The Lamb's good. Yeah, Jay, but you're wrong.
check out The Lamb. Check out SharkDropper.com. We got like a whole bunch of other podcasts on there, fictional, non-fictional, and
Paralyzed.
yeah. Check that out. And that about does it. So guys, unless there's anything else, that does it for a podcast. I've been your host, John Loswell. For my co-host, Mark Hoffmeyer.
Thanks, jerks.
John Lemigood.
How did this get made? I'm quoting him.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Associate producer.
We're above the target. T-minus 5 seconds till shark drop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the shark! Go! 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 This podcast is a Shark Dropper Studios production.